Ghost 47-inch in stock right now. Best trolling motor out on the market right now, I believe. And we have a lot of them. Give us a call. We got them.
All right, what we have here is a 2018 Crestliner with a 200 Mercury Optimax Pro XS. This boat came in for some electrical issues. They were having problems with the graphs, glitching out and doing some weird stuff. One of the things that we do in our shop is to run dedicated power to every unit that we install on the boat. So along with a couple other things that we've done on this boat, we ran dedicated power to the graphs as well. This guy also wanted an engine interface installed on his boat. So back here, we have a CAN data cable that runs to the engine computer, runs up through the rigging sleeve, and then up here at the front of the boat, there's a junction box that cable ties into, and through that we'll utilize a Nema 2000 data box that will transfer the information up to the graph so he can view stuff like engine hours, tachometer, engine water pressure, vital information that is pretty important when you're on the water about your engine.
So we're just checking in some of our used units that we're getting from customers that bought new units. So get them in here, we check them out first and make sure everything's running good and everything's up to date. We update everything and then get them and we sell them as used units. What? We got live scope, baby. Live scope. That's a good one. Tanner got a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. We were catching too many fish, so he decided to go something else.
No, he's going active target.
Oh, boom. So he was catching too many fish.
Usually when they leave Garmin, they go Humminbird.
Oh, God.
Highly unlikely.
I sell tools for a living. Well, I've been a Cornwell dealer for about 5.5 years now. Sometimes somebody will call me, know exactly what they need. I'll come by, drop it off. Other times, guys really like to browse. You never know what you're gonna find on the truck. There's new deals every week. There's new sales. There's new stuff every week. There's always a reason to come on the truck.
Okay, here we have our Nema 2000 engine gateway. You've got two different ends on this module. One of these will plug in to our junction block here. You've got 4 ports here. We've got a cable coming back from the engine, which is this blue cable that we showed you earlier. Comes into the junction block here. Our interface will plug in over here on this other port. Now, if you're running additional accessories like a smart craft gauge, you could also plug those in on these 2 open ports here to give you full, interface between all of your devices. So those will all mount up underneath the console, and then we'll tie this end of the interface into our Nema backbone, which is already up underneath the dash. And that will get all of the information transferred up onto our multi-function displays so we can view all that on any unit that's tied into the network. All right, so we're out here at probably my favorite place to be, El Dorado Lake. It's also my favorite part of the job, lake test. The reason we're out here is because we installed an engine interface on this boat. We're just verifying that we're getting all the information that we want to be seeing on our display, and that's water pressure, engine RPMs, alternator charging output, and engine temperature. It's kind of hard to check that stuff in the shop. You can run them on the garden hose, but you're really not going to get the accurate information that you would get on a true on the water environment. So by coming out here on the water, we can see that everything's working correctly, basically make sure that we did our job right.
Replace the HDI on the trolling motor, replace the latch, got your cord, plug in, got that taken care of. So up here you have 2 power wires that are pre-ran, like we talked about. So you've got a set of 10 for the FS when you're ready to add that, and a set of 10 gauge for your active target when you're ready to add that.
Cool.
The units are now dedicated wiring. Your sensor's still there for the Minn Kota, but obviously 0.1 also went to the back. Everything else is looking good. No more interference. There was a bad pinch in the cable that was under a tie, so that was cute. On the backwards transducer that came from the dealer. So everything's squared now. Looking good.
Yeah, looks clean.
Yeah, it's nice. Don't use zip ties. Zip ties bad. They pinch cables and do bad things to transducers. So.
We got on camera. You see me sneaking food.
Guys, lunch is here.
Some of you guys may know or picked up on some of our social media stuff. We haven't done a ton of videos about it, but we're also a Hobie kayak dealer. So last year we partnered with a company called Flatwater Fitness out at Santa Fe Lake. It's just a small little city lake that's to the west of us here, our shop location. And we rented out a bunch of kayaks, and it was actually a lot of fun, really successful. Took our family and kiddos there and stuff, had a bunch of fun paddling around that lake and pedaling around that lake. So we've actually got another trailer. We've got 2 trailers, and one's already out there. We've got our last trailer loaded up with another round of kayaks, and we're getting ready to head out to Santa Fe Lake, see Catherine with Flatwater Fitness, and get ourselves and her ready for the 2021 rental season. So here we go. Alright, so we're out here at Santa Fe Lake. It's a small little city lake of Augusta, which is just about 15-20 minutes west of El Dorado here. And this is where Catherine Wallace heads up Flatwater Fitness, so she handles all the rental kayaks for us and paddle boards out here. This lake is a no-wake lake, so we don't really have to worry about issues with big boats coming by and stuff like that. Super cool, awesome area. We got a little beach area here just to the south of us where a lot of people can come in and get their kids and go into a shallow beach area to get in the water and stuff. And then during the summer months, this is just completely packed full of kayakers, canoers, paddleboarders stuff. So it's really neat to have a lake close by that you can kind of have this awesome, fitness lifestyle area here, not have to worry about big boats and stuff like that. So really super cool. Big thank you to Catherine. Again, she's the one who heads up all the rental stuff here at the lake. She's absolutely awesome, super energetic. We absolutely love her. She's amazing. So she's definitely the person for this. So anyway, guys, we're gonna get here loaded back up. We've got 2 trailers dropped off full of kayaks for them and stuff to get the season going for us. And we're gonna head back to the shop and get some more installs done.
All right, we're here with a brand new Ranger 1888 VX. This boat happens to belong to a regular customer of ours. He just purchased this boat and decided to go with us to rig it. So on this one here, he's going with 2 Helix 10 Mega DIs, be one at the front and one at the console. We're going to do a Garmin GPS map 1022 for a standalone live scope unit. He's going to do a Terova on a quick release bracket up front. We'll network all of our Humminbird stuff together utilizing the Humminbird 5-port switch and their Ethernet cables, along with the adapter cables that we need to make that work with the Helix units. So on this installation, the customer decided to go with this cornfield crappie telescoping bracket. This is what we'll be mounting the 1022 on. It's cool, kind of a cool design. You can loosen this up, telescope the bracket up and down to kind of help bring that Garmin up into view, make it a little bit easier to see. So that'll be fun.
Is that where you find the used transducers that are on the website?
No.
Well, there's been some used transducers on the website, and I don't have any in the back because I'm getting rid of those suckers. So.
Which ones?
Well, this is one.
Okay.
So we need to go over and make sure that.
Give that little spit shine.
What do you need?
We have some back here.
We've got a lot of
Because-
two LSS1s, LSS2, and then like two.
So now I know where to go for the stash.
It's not a stash so much as it's stuff that we had stopped taking in, and we're trying to make sure that they're up to standard before we list them on the website.
Because we want quality, quantity.
All right, so we're up here on the front of this Ranger. We'll kind of start at the very front and work back this way. For starters, we've got our Minn-coated Terova trolling motor mounted to the bow on a quick release plate. This particular customer wanted the option to be able to take the trolling motor off the boat. So with that in mind, we've made sure to make sure all our connections are accessible so he can undo his transducer and his iPilot link right here, pull his power loose, take the trolling motor off, put the cover on it, and it's ready for storage. Down here, we've got our Humminbird Helix 10. We're running the MDI transducer built into the trolling motor up front through this. We've also got our Garmin 1022 here. We're using this as a standalone unit to run the live scope. With this 1022, he wanted it mounted on a telescoping cornfield crappie mount. So we've mounted that to the deck here. This has got some pretty cool features on it. We can raise that up to bring the screen up to eye level. So when the customer's out on the water, they're not constantly sitting down looking at the deck, putting a creek in their neck. Brings it up a little bit more at a convenient level to look at. Pretty cool feature. The whole thing does fold down, so when you're going down the road, it's not sitting up. You can loosen this point down here and the whole thing will fold down to the floor.
Okay, here at the console, we added a Helix 10 flush mounted in the dash, which I think turned out pretty nice. And then towards the back here, we added a dedicated battery just for jumping purposes. If for some reason your crank battery is dead, I got a Perco switch over here, which I'll show you here in a minute. Got it set up where you can turn it on battery 2 and jump off the secondary battery. We also added a 60 amp circuit breaker for the secondary battery. And then over here, on the crank side, which I don't know if you can see this real well, but Perco switch is down here. You can switch it to battery 1 for your regular crank battery. All run both, and then, well, actually, we don't got that wired that way. We just got it set up where on 1, it runs the actual crank battery. 2 will run your secondary battery if you need to do a jump. And you've got the transducer mounted on the back with a transom plate.
Well, that's just about a wrap on this boat. The only thing that we really have left is to do a lake test on it, make sure that everything works correctly the way it should. As with every installation here at the shop, we do like to take them out and lake test them, make sure that our transducers are working correctly, make sure that all our trolling motor functions are working right, go through all our networking again and make sure all that stuff's good. Just kind of give everything a final shakedown before we give it a good sign off and send it off to the customer. So that's what we'll go do now.